Hello, everyone. I'm Jan De Silva, President and CEO of the Toronto Region Board of Trade. And I'm joined now by two titans of transit, Metrolinx's Phil Verster and the TTC's Rick Leary. Phil and Rick are here to talk about their transit systems and specifically how they're managing a return of riders, because downtown is becoming more active. I began returning to my financial district office in July, and week by week, I see it. More people are in the path. Restaurants and shops are open and doing more business. People are feeling confident as a result of our widespread vaccination rates, new policies around in-person work, and the province's proof of vaccination requirements. But in comparison to pre-pandemic levels, we're still falling short. Thousands of downtown businesses rely on daily commuters as their customer base. If we continue to linger at 30 to 40% of pre-pandemic presence, many of those businesses won't stay viable in the long term. One thing keeping those commuters at home is their hesitancy around transit. They might feel safe in their office or favorite restaurant, but feel differently about getting on a transit vehicle. That's why I'm here to talk to Rick and Phil about dispelling any misconception about transit safety. Because in fact, what we've seen from research is that the risk of transmission is very low on transit, and there hasn't been much evidence in Toronto linking COVID cases to the use of public transit. So Rick and Phil, can you talk about changes a rider will notice on their downtown commute to protect them from COVID, whether it's on the TTC, GO Transit, or Up Express? Rick, let's start with you.
Sure. Thank you very much, Jan. Thank you for having me here. I would tell you that, having safety be a core value in public transit, that what we've done at the TTC is really double down, all right, on the safety aspects of everything we do. If you're coming into the system today, you're going to see things you might not have seen pre-pandemic. You're going to see a lot of employees out, very visible, wearing a mask. And you'll also see many people handing out masks. We have a lot of signage about the importance of safety and wearing masks. We have insignias on the ground. You're going to see many, many different things. All our subway entrances, for instance, we have hand sanitizers, right? Nice. So from a local manufacturer out of Scarborough, right? All the subway stations and the bus terminals as well as the streetcars themselves. We put hand sanitizers on there. So you're going to see a different look when you get on the TTC today. And the look and the mantra behind it is safety.
Great. And Phil?
Very definitely. The biggest thing you'll see on GO is we've invested in shatterproof plexiglass as a separation between seats, both on our GO buses and on our GO trains. Similar to what Rick is doing, our teams have got very visible cleaning activities happening to keep a cycle of cleaning going. We've got a policy that at every doorway on bus or train, every doorway has sanitizers that are available for cleaning your hands, and masks for our staff, our employees, as well as for riders is still mandated. And most of all, we've listened carefully to our ridership through workshops and through consultations. And all of the highest priority risks our riders have identified, we've got mitigations in place for. So we're very excited. And the fact is, people that are on our trains today are enjoying it, are safe. I think the real hurdle, Jan, is do that first journey, and then you'll see it's all fine. Do that first journey. Just try it out, and you'll see it's fine.
Yep. And I'll just say I take the TTC to and from my office every day. You've also got the signs on the seats to say, keep the seat open so that you've got distancing. I was on Up Express this past week coming back from some travel I was doing. So, people are following the guidelines and they're following the cues and the indicators that you provided. So I feel incredibly safe using those services. Now, with all of the visible safety measures, there are some safety measures that riders won't be able to see, but are keeping them safe nonetheless. Can you highlight some of the behind the scenes mitigations and safety measures that you've been putting in place? Rick, let's go with you.
Sure, I'll jump right in. There's a lot going on behind the scenes. What I'm very proud of is I can tell you that Phil and I, we took the lead early when COVID came into existence back in January of of 2020, we started a cleaning regimen for all our vehicles multiple times a day, using hospital-grade sanitizers, for instance, getting out in front of those type of issues, making sure that our customers were aware that we were washing and cleaning all possible touch points, buttons and hand straps and grab rails, things of that nature. And more recently, on top of making it mandatory for wearing masks within the subway for our employees and our customers, it's even having a mandatory vaccination policy within our organization, so that at a point in time, our customers will feel very comfortable and safe that when they take public transit, they know our employees have been vaccinated. So, we're really trying to get out in front of so many things when it comes to this, getting people to feel comfortable coming back to public transit.
And if I can add to, Rick and myself are joined fully up on the mandatory vaccinations. We think that's really important for our employees to be vaccinated, and both of us do the MERV 13 filters, and the MERV 13 is sort of a medical grade filter to make sure air systems and HVACs have filtration. We've done something recently, and it's like Rick says, we are very, very much sort of thinking about how do we anticipate whether there are health risks out there. We recently did a SARS-CoV-2 virus environmental sampling study, and results from the laboratory analysis found no genetic material from the virus in any of the samples. And this means that our virus control measures are actually working. So I want to give you that sense as a customer it's not just the stuff you see, it's also what happens behind the scene, and we're exercising control. And for us, it was important to check and to sample whether the mitigations are working, and they are.
It's terrific. As I said off the top, the number of people coming back downtown is inching up. We're looking forward to welcoming more in the days and weeks ahead. So how are your transit systems accommodating this increase in riders while understanding that people are nervous about crowding? Phil, let's start with you for this one.
Yeah, so we keep very close tabs day by day, week by week on the ridership. And we adjust the length of our trains, and we add more trains as we see more riders joining. We followed what's sort of an international practice from what we picked up from other jurisdictions, which is roll out the fleet capacity early, encourage people to come back. Very active social media campaigns out there to market our journeys and to get people to travel. And Jan, the exciting thing for us is, even though we're a regional rail operator, we have seen a phenomenal interest in weekend ridership. Weekend ridership, we're up to about 50% now of the pre-COVID level, which is phenomenal. Weekday ridership, we are hovering between 25 and 30%, but we've seen a great increase in September and October, and we're very excited about that. And what we do, therefore, is we make sure that as we roll out and as people come back onto our transit solutions for Go that we roll out more capacity as and when it's required. But we've started off by having a lot of capacity out there. We are increasing to half-hourly services now on our lake shores.
Yep, that's great. And Rick, in additional points from your end.
Yeah, we're doing very, very similar, as Phil outlined. We call it a demand response service, matching capacity to demand, focusing on a daily basis and many times hourly when we're looking at where the peaks of period happening, although they're not what they used to be, as you can imagine. It's reallocating resources to where the demand is, and we're staying on top of that on an hourly basis. We've also done things like created work with Rocket Man and the transit apps, which allows customers to be able to go on their app and look where the next vehicle is, for instance, and see what the ridership looks like on that vehicle if they want to wait a vehicle or two when they know there's less people on it. It's for their own personal comfort. We're always talking about putting more tools in the toolbox for our customers to make decisions, as we also encourage them to, kind of accommodate their own schedule if they're going into the office or traveling, what's the best time when what's for them.
Well, and I know both of you have been prominently at the table as we've been working with the employers and building owners in the core, in the downtown core, to plan for all the mitigations to support a safe reopening. And I know our employers are looking at staggering start and stop times just to help as we're managing more flow back. And Rick, as you said, Rocket Man, and I'm going to repeat that again, Rocket Man, brilliant app that's giving passengers an idea of what kind of volumes of utilization are in place on coming modes of transit for them. So something that I think is going to get some great uptake. Now, it's clear both your agencies have taken significant steps to keep riders safe from COVID. How are you making sure that people know about these measures so they can feel confident about getting on transit again?
So we've been out there in social media and in all forums, and the really important fact that we've distributed is that there is not a single demonstrable outbreak coming from the GO train usage. Fact, there hasn't been, and there's not been an outbreak related to it. And when we talk to businesses, we've put forward, for example, an unlimited travel pass for a 3-month period to businesses as an option to encourage people back. And I think all of this is about this is all about narrative and messaging and building confidence. We take questions. We take questions on our website and our emails, and we help people to make their choices. This very much depends just on sentiment out there, and whatever we can do to contribute to a positive sentiment and to get the region moving again, we're in.
Perfect. Rick?
Yeah, following along the lines of Phil, we've had a couple of significant campaigns that we like to put out there. And the first was obviously the safety campaign, making sure everybody understood what we were doing, right? Keeping their safety in mind. And then more recently, we've had some fun campaigns, right? The Welcome Back campaign, going out on television and within the radio and social media, right? Just getting people excited about coming back to the city, because one of the campaigns that we put together was a destination campaign, reminding people of what's available in this great city. If you want to go to the CN Tower, whether it's the zoo or the Ripley's, believe it or not, right? Or the museums, the ball games, the waterfront, St. Lawrence Market. It's reminding people of locations they can go and take public transit to get there. So we're having fun as we try to educate the public on, let's get this city back moving again.
Yeah, and I just want to give you both a shout out. I mean, as I mentioned, you've been at the table as we've worked with the large employers in the downtown about getting ready for reopening. You've made yourself available for the senior HR group of those large employers who are working at coordinating messaging for their employees so that there's a consistent indication of safety and readiness and mitigations. And I know you were very generous in about a 2-hour discussion we had with them. We were fielding their Q&A. We put together some documentation coming out of that just to give them more information to share with their employees. So again, I encourage all of our viewers to seriously get back in on our public transit. As I said, I use it every day. And quite frankly, with people being reluctant to use public transit, we're seeing far more cars on the road. So congestion is going to be a problem. And let's think about getting back into the transit system. The final piece, the final question for today, are there any other misconceptions about riding transit that either of you want to clear up, or any further measures that you want to cover? Phil, Rick?
So I think one of the biggest misconceptions is the idea that it's risky to travel on transit today. We've seen that as a phenomenon throughout other jurisdictions as well. And it is just natural to think and feel like that. Hopefully our partners and our customers can see from Rick's comments and from my own is that there's an incredible amount of work happening to create cleanliness, virus-free surfaces, virus-free air, separation and physical distancing through the plexiglass dividers we've got on our GO trains, and that this is a safe place. And by having an overlay to that of mandatory vaccinations for employees, transit is back. Transit is back, and we can help and we can move people, and this is an exciting time. And we actually see people take on transit over the weekends when they want to get out and go to places. That's why I've seen such phenomenal growth in our weekend travel. So I think we're on the cusp of people coming back, and we're ready, and we're very excited to have everyone back.
Yeah.
Right, and I'll ditto that with for what Phil said. Clearly, there's no evidence of transmission that comes with public transit, and we're doing everything possible so that people understand, all right, that we're ready for them when they want to come back. So let's get this city back rolling again, and get back to a wonderful life that we were used to pre-COVID.
Absolutely. Thank you both, Phil and Rick, for taking time to speak with me about how TTC, Go Transit, and Up Express have evolved over the past 19 months. And a personal thank you to you both for having your organizations at our We're Ready Toronto planning table. Again, the large employers, the building owners, the PATH network, your transit agencies have all been part of a collective effort that's been working over the past 12 months to have all the mitigations in place so that when it's safe to do so, as it is now, we've got everything in place to be ready for you to come back to the office. So let me end by emphasizing that many of us have already realized that, yes, the pandemic still has a way to run, but we're now at a point with vaccinations and mitigations that we no longer have to remain in lockdowns. We can take steps to keep ourselves, our families, and our communities safe while starting to resume our normal activities. The board has a We're Ready Toronto campaign in partnership with the TTC and Metrolinx, and we've been promoting those steps in downtown's businesses, as well as generating excitement about coming back downtown again. We've done the work, and we're so ready to welcome you back. To learn about the resources, research, and contests involved with We're Ready Toronto, visit bot.com/getready. That's bot.com/getready. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon on a bus, train, streetcar, or subway. Have a great day. And once again, Phil and Rick, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Pleasure.